Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
27 drivers, 100 laps, and thousands of racing fans downtown for the Detroit Grand Prix.
Just seeing them fly by, it's absolutely crazy.
Today is Free Prix Day, and there's no shortage of activities.
There's something for everyone to enjoy here.
It's pretty crazy that you can just kind of be so close to all the cars.
We're covering it all right here on Local 4. Live look right now, downtown. Indy cars are on the track right now, getting their first round of practice in. You can see the cars, and if you're downtown today, you probably hear the race as well. It is loud, and it is a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here on a Friday afternoon, First at 4. I'm Karen Drew. Now, behind me, we are getting more live pictures of the racetrack. Fans have been out there since the gates opened at 8 o'clock this morning. Let's bring in Meryl Kane, the Detroit Grand Prix Communications Director, to talk a little bit about what we can talk about in terms of what fans are expecting. Today is an awesome day for people to show up in downtown Detroit.
It is an awesome day, and it's great to see the sunshine out, great to hear the sound of race cars behind me, and great to see so many people here in downtown Detroit just enjoying the Grand Prix.
And in terms of fans interacting with drivers, talk to us a little bit about that, what the plan is there.
Yeah, I think that's one of the greatest things about the NTT IndyCar Series, really the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship as well. It's a very accessible race paddock. You know, if you buy a ticket to a grandstand, you're going to get an admission to the paddock area, and you can see the drivers and the crews going by you all the time. They're very welcoming to fans, taking autographs and snapping pictures. We had an all-driver autograph session with IndyCar inside the Renaissance Center at about 12:30 this afternoon. It was a packed house with a lot of people. So, yeah, it's a great atmosphere for families, great for kids, and you get to see some of your heroes of racing right there in the flesh.
So how does that work? Do you have to sign up before going, or how does that all work?
Yeah, for an autograph session, it's just free. And there'll be autograph sessions throughout the entire weekend with the different racing series. So all of them will be held in the Renaissance Center. We encourage everyone to check our schedule at DetroitGP.com. It'll tell you exactly when all those are. But beyond that, yeah, if you buy a ticket to a grandstand seat, you will get admission to the race paddock, and you could just walk through the paddock, and you're very close to the teams and the garages. You'll see them behind me here, where the crews are working on their cars throughout the weekend, and they're more than willing to talk to fans and tell them a little bit about the sport and get them excited about what's taking place here in the streets of Detroit.
All right, last question, best view. Give us a little hint for some people who are maybe first timers. Where should they go to try to check it out?
Well, I mean, there's a couple different answers for that. It depends on what you're looking for. So if you're looking for action, you want to see some maybe an accident or two and some passing. Turn 3 is tough to beat. It's at the end of the very long stretch down Jefferson Avenue. So the Indy cars get about 180, 190 miles an hour, and then they slow down into a tight hairpin turn at about 50, 60 miles an hour. So there's a lot of action there. But if you really want to just see a great view of the city, see some of the racing, but just people watch and see, awesome views of the riverfront and the city, we have rooftop decks. 4 rooftop decks are kind of across the venue, and you buy one ticket to a rooftop, you get to, jump between all 4 of them and experience the different views, and there's different music, different food on each one of them. So it's a lot of fun, and it's a great view to check it all out.
It's going to be a great weekend. Meryl, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, and before you head out, take a look at the list. These are the prohibited items at the Grand Prix. First, weapons of any kind, including pocket knives, firearms, and ammunition, are banned, along with drones, remote piloted aircraft, and similar unmanned aerial devices. Make sure to leave rollerblades, hoverboards, skateboards, and bikes at home. Oh, and snap a picture of the QR code on your screen right now. It will take you to clickondetroit.com, and then you can find all the information you need: tickets, event schedules, parking information, anything else that you need to know so you can plan on checking out the Grand Prix. Now first, turning our attention outside, you can see the haze surrounding Detroit right now, and that is because wildfires are raging in Canada. A state of emergency is declared by the Canadian province Manitoba. 17,000 people across several communities are evacuated. Neighbors should flee south with their essentials and aim to be out by midnight. That fire began Monday just north in neighboring Saskatchewan and has exploded in size. Firefighters from across Canada are helping fight those flames. Now here at home, much Much of southeast Michigan is under an air quality advisory. Forewarned meteorologist Ron Hilliard tracking those air conditions, I should say, for us this afternoon.
You know, Karen, that's right. We have those air quality concerns that will be deteriorating later on tonight, and that advisory will go through 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. And this covers all of southeast Michigan, and you see even beyond southeast Michigan, we are going to see those issues with air quality because of the Canadian wildfires, as you mentioned. So these are where those fires are. Well, that smoke gets lifted up into the atmosphere and it gets carried down into the Great Lakes. So we will see some of that smoke drifting down here into Metro Detroit later on this evening. Right now, this is where it's at, the UP, northern Michigan. You go over into parts of the upper Midwest, and we are already seeing that smoke a little bit thicker. So the concerns for this air will be for those who are in sensitive groups, maybe for those who have asthma or other respiratory conditions. We're going to be seeing that air quality deteriorating. Now, another thing is we do have some showers popping up here in southeast Michigan. One of those showers right now approaching Port Huron, so we will see those showers popping up in the next few minutes. We're going to continue to track these showers as well as the air quality and tell you what to expect for the weekend coming up in a few minutes. Karen?
Check back. President Trump's tariffs back on after a court ruling blocked many of them. Now, the Trump administration quickly appealed the ruling. Now, a federal appeals court rules the president is allowed to impose tariffs based on the Emergency Economics Act. The tariffs can stay in place until June 9th, when both sides have to submit its arguments over tariffs to the appeals court. Another big story out of Washington this afternoon. Elon Musk steps down from his position leading the Department of Government Efficiency.
This is not the end of Doge, but really the beginning. My time as a special government employee necessarily had to end. It was a limited time thing. It's 134 days, I believe, which ends in a few days. So that it comes with a time limit. But the Doge team will only grow stronger over time. The Doge influence will only grow stronger.
In an Oval Office send-off, Trump gave Musk a large key the president says is reserved for very special people. Trump says Doge's work will continue after Musk's departure. Governor Gretchen Whitmer says President Donald Trump previously told her he would not pardon the men convicted of plotting to kidnap her back in 2020. She shared this with Michigan Public Radio yesterday. Whitmer's comments followed Trump's statement on Wednesday, where he said he might consider pardoning the men. Whitmer warned that a pardon would be a breach of his promise to her. 9 men were convicted or pleaded guilty, while 5 were acquitted in that kidnapping plot. Former Michigan House Speaker Lee Chatfield is headed to trial. He faces multiple felony charges for allegedly misusing nonprofit funds, including embezzlement. Chatfield is accused of using over $130,000 from a social welfare fund to then pay for personal expenses. Now, his wife Stephanie also charged in this. The investigation began after sexual assault allegations surfaced in 2022, which Chatfield denied. A trial date has not yet been set. All right, let's go to now a case that has left Lenawee County really baffled. The murder case of Dee Warner. We were there as her suspected killer appeared in court today as the defense made some new requests amid some social media posts in a Justice for Dee Facebook group. Now, Dee disappeared back in 2021. No one saw or heard from her until investigators found her body in a tank on her husband's property. Let's bring in Will Jones this afternoon. He is working this story. And Will, the defense says they want to change a venue.
Karen, today the judge dealt with several motions filed by Dale Warner's attorney. They were related to discovery, suppression of evidence, and his phone calls from jail. And as you mentioned, the big one, the change of venue request. And that's what I'm going to focus on. The defense filed that motion for a change of venue due to the extensive media coverage and social media activity surrounding the case. They argued that finding a fair and an impartial jury will be challenging. The defense points out that most of the social media commentary has been negative toward Dale Warner, who's accused of killing his wife, Dee Warner. They cited a post in the Justice for Dee Facebook group, which discussed how to scrub your social media account so that if you're called for jury duty, no one would know you were a part of that group. However, prosecutors believe there are ways to ensure Warner receives a fair and impartial jury.
Many people have let their emotions really drive their opinions on this. I would gather that most of those folks, if you ask them if they believe in the rule of law, believe in the Constitution, are you law-abiding, they probably say yes to all of that. But when you look at what people are saying about Mr. Warner, his trial rights, his constitutional rights, all of that goes out the window.
There are procedures that could be put in place to ensure a fair and impartial jury. And counsel just mentioned some of those. And so this motion kind of puts the cart before the horse and assumes, based on a few anecdotes, that out of the tens of thousands of potential Lenawee County jurors, that 12 fair and impartial jurors cannot be found. And that's just a leap too far.
And the judge did express his concerns about that social media activity, but he says he doesn't believe it reaches a point that a fair jury can't be picked, but he's willing to revisit the motion at a later date. The trial is set to start in January in Lenawee County. We are live. Will Jones, Local 4.
All right, lots of eyes on this case. Thanks, Will. Now, take a close look at this screenshot from security video. Detroit police are searching for a person of interest in a shooting that happened outside Martin Luther King High School. Police think this is the man who fired multiple shots in the school's parking lot at about 8:30 last night. Authorities are urging anybody with information to contact Detroit police or Crime Stoppers.